The City of South Lebanon regular meeting of council to order.
Allen,
Present.
Carmack,
Present.
Combs,
Present.
Feder,
Present.
Harrison,
Present.
Spicer.
Present.
Thank you. Would you all please rise for the prayer and the pledge? Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening to give thanks and ask that you guide us as we do our work. We ask that you give us discernment in the decisions that we make for all of our citizens. Let us do our work with respect, with all our community in mind. Please protect our first responders, military, police, and EMS as they continue to protect our communities and country. Please keep them safe. We give you thanks for all the blessings of living in a free nation. Let us forever be watchful and grateful in protecting those freedoms. We pray for individuals that we know that are in need of physical healing, comfort, and their families. Give the doctors wisdom, skill to heal them so they may return to their normal life. We ask all of these things humbly in your name. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for coming this evening. And we do have guests, and this is very exciting. And I'm going to let them tell you all about this. But I'd like to introduce you to Mark and Robin Bersani, Loveland Canoe and Kayak Incorporated. No, she didn't get that canoeing or kayaking.
It's a ski accident. Oh, yeah. Christmas Eve.
It was a fun Christmas. Yeah. Go ahead and state your name and address for the record so we have.
I am Robin Bersani at 621 Lower River Road in Loveland.
And I'm Mark Bersani, also at 621 Lower River Road, when she lets me live there. So first of all, we want to thank you. This is wonderful that we have an opportunity to come and meet the council and present. We've had a couple of very good meetings with Linda and Jerry and Harry. It was very productive. They've been super supportive. So you've got good people running your community and serving those residents and businesses. So I'll just have you change to the next slide if we can. We've been down in Loveland for 21 years now. It's gone really fast. Robin and I were actually running on the bike trail training for the Chicago Marathon. And Robin said, hey, the canoe business is for sale. We should buy it. And so we did. That's how we got into it. And so we spent the last 21 years in the river, and we love being a part of the community. When we first got there, Paxton's was the only restaurant. And of course, if you know Loveland now, it's grown pretty incredibly over the last probably 7-8 years, especially. A lot of restaurants, small businesses, shops. A lot of people use the bike trail there as they do here in South Lebanon. And we generally, the last 4 years, COVID was the busiest year we'll ever have, but the last 4 years, we generally see between 15 and 17,000 customers a summer that come to our place. And the great thing is about being part of a community is after their kayak trip, a lot of people will go to one of the local restaurants, got a coffee shop within walking distance. So there's a lot of cross-business pollination going on. It's good for the entire community, and it's been fun to watch it grow. So I'll have you go to the next slide. Is that you, Jerry? Are you running that? Yeah. So we're really hoping, I don't know if any of you know, you probably have heard the news if you've been watching it, but the Morgans family, which operated out of Fort Ancient for close to 60 years, decided that this year they were going to sell their land. So the land's going to be in the hands of the state. Hopefully most of it will still be publicly accessible. But they decided to close their operation and consolidate over in Indiana at their Brookville location. So that leaves a pretty big void. There's a lot of people that have gone there. I would, kind of estimate somewhere between 20 and 25,000 people would go up there a year. So those people will find a new home. There's other outfitters up in Waynesville, River's Edge, and there's one in downtown Morrow. But there was a pretty big gap, and we actually own piece of property right off of Old Main Street, on the riverside. If you're on the trail side, I guess on the downstream side, we own a little piece of property that was at one time our 10-mile access. We stopped running that trip a while ago, so we still own that property. I thought maybe utilizing that, as we talked with Lee and Barry, we kind of uncovered that there's probably a better opportunity for us to operate inside the park. Do the split screen. So we, I'll have you go back. Yeah. So what we hope to do is really provide a new place for people to get on the river. You have a beautiful access in Rogers Ballpark, very well maintained, and your maintenance crews do a great job. I am at that park periodically because we have had trips go up there or have people go out, and the park's always very clean and always well maintained. So, you know, hats off to your crew. But we're hoping to bring some people to a new location. I just did the trip the other day, went in at Halls Creek and got out at the ballpark. It's a beautiful stretch of river, really is nice. If you don't know that there's actually a bald eagle's nest on that stretch, so fun to see that from the river. We planned here, you can see in that picture, we're actually just put an order in for a boat called the Crescent Primo, which is, it's got a frame seat instead of sitting on the bottom of plastic. It's a much more comfortable boat. Thank you, Jerry.
Yeah.
Gosh, you can run all my presentations. So it's a much more comfortable boat than the standard livery rental boat that we use down in Loveland and all the other outfitters use as well. We thought, you know, since we're coming to a new place and new venture, we would really try to offer something that was unique and different. Nice thing is that they're more comfortable, but they also are easier for people that might have, you know, knee or back issues to get in and out of. You're not going to sit all the way down in the boat, and you're never sitting in water on the bottom, which is what, you know, customers do in the other boats. So again, very, very comfortable and nice capacity. So we anticipate, and this is just speculation, but I believe we could probably have 4,000 to 5,000 customers this summer. Based upon our experience in Loveland and what it takes to grow. I mean, a lot of it's creating awareness for people that this is a new location and that we're here. We of course can capitalize on the, you know, the name and what we're known as for Loveland, letting those customers know and using that social media channel to do that. So, you know, with those numbers, we hope to have 10 to 12 seasonal employment opportunities. And in Loveland, we have a lot of Loveland high schoolers and then college-age kids that work for us there. We've been really blessed over the years. A lot of our staff will come to us in their sophomore year of high school and stay all the way through when they complete college if they go to that. So a lot of employees stay for 7 seasons. Seems to be a fun job for them. They like being outside. Yeah, we're really adamant about teaching them to work hard and to be polite, respectful, and tend to our customers. And I think that is kind of what we're known for. People know that we deliver really, really good service. Our kids are polite. I think, you know, for both of us, the greatest source of pride is that almost all the feedback we get is about the friendliness of our staff. The beautiful river, but the friendliness of our staff, that they're helpful. And those are important things that we want them to take with the experience that they have with us and go out into the world and do great things down the road. So we'll go to the next slide, Jerry. So we're planning to be open starting Memorial Day weekend, so that would be that Saturday, and stay open through Labor Day. We'll probably be open starting, you know, we'll probably be open 6 days a week. We may expand to 7, but we'll see how that goes. On weekends, for sure, we'll be going trips every 30 minutes from 9 till 3 weekdays. The business will dictate that. We may run on the hour. But we have a great reservation system that will really help customers to pick a time that works for them and help us to manage the logistics. So that'll all be really driven by the business and what, you know, the customer demand is. And then we ask all boats to be back by 6 p.m. at night. And most people are pretty good about that. We have pretty good compliance with that. Once in a while, you get somebody that stays out or goes the wrong way. But the good news is there's nowhere to get lost. You know, the river flows downstream. So people generally find their way back in a reasonable period of time. So we'll go to the. As I mentioned, we're very entrenched in the Loveland community. We work closely with a lot of local businesses, do some partnering programs. We also partner with Great Parks. We do a burgers event with them on Friday, every other Friday this summer, where people paddle down to Lake Isabella and there's a cookout and live music down there. So we do a lot of those type of things, and, you know, we'll look for those opportunities here. You know, Jerry had brought to my attention some of the local businesses. Robin knows of Chubby's from her days as a teacher in the Kings district. So we're anxious to have a conversation with them because we think that's a perfect fit. If people can order pizza and eat at the picnic tables down by the river, that's a pretty special place to enjoy lunch. So we look forward to working with them. And if there's other local businesses that are looking for ways to partner to enhance their business offering or just attract more people, we're certainly very, very receptive to that. And from a conservation standpoint, I'm actually the official tire king of the Little Miami River. So this last year, I took 165 tires off the Little Miami River with volunteers. I've been doing that for 21 years, probably about 1,500 tires in that time. So there's a lot of good volunteers that are involved in that. We actually have a construction company that's adopted the section of the river from South Lebanon down to Carl Ray Park. And they really get after it. So they just took that over last year and they're doing a really good job. So we'll actually be doing that same type of cleanup, probably from Morrow down to South Lebanon, because there's a good access point there. But when I was out the other day, the section looks pretty clean. There were a couple tires. We'll get those. But during the summer, you know, it's just an active part of our stewardship is cleaning up. Unfortunately, we still find, you know, cans, plastic bottles, things of that nature make their way into the water. So it's Robin and I have fallen in love with the river. She serves on the board of Little Miami Conservancy, and I sit on the Little Miami Scenic River Council, which is a ODNR organization, citizens run. So we really want to see the Little Miami protected. You have a beautiful stretch running through South Lebanon. You really do. That is so pretty. And we want to see it remain that way for future generations. So we will be great stewards of that, and you'll find that we'll keep the park clean as well. Carl Ray Park is also public access, but the DNR folks know that they don't have to spend as much time there, because I tell my boys, even if it's not our stuff that's there, if somebody left it there from an event the night before, you know, we clean it up. It's green and clean, right? Because we're using this park, we're having the opportunity to run a business, so it's our responsibility to make sure we keep it clean and beautiful for everybody's enjoyment. So they, I think the last slide is, man, you're doing a great job. I love it. We mentioned, you know, we've talked and identified a really perfect stretch piece of land. My understanding is this land is in the conservation easement, so there's no other use for this land. You can't put any structures or buildings on it, but it's right adjoining to the boat ramp there, the kayak ramp. So that's really ideal. And Jerry brought to our attention that there were restrooms and concession stands. We'd love to have use of those. I will tell you that there's one thing that'll keep people away more than anything else, and that's a porta john. No, that was our original plan, but if we can use the restrooms, we will keep those clean and maintained. And the concession stand, you know, we'll have some snack items and things of that nature that may even be beneficial for people that live in the community that are walking, using the park. Yeah. Signage on that, you know, in the park, just to let people know where we are. The only thing I think we need is perhaps a cargo container that we could keep our equipment in, our paddles and life jackets, just so they're safe and secure. That would be removed after the season, put in there just prior to the season, removed after the season. Those are pretty easy to get around, a 20-footer, and fairly secure, if there is such a thing as a fairly secure building. And if it's appropriate, the fenced-in area around the well station, we pay to have that fencing repaired. It's in fairly decent shape, but there's a couple break points have that repaired. That's a good place for us to pull our trailers in at night. We keep the boats on there. We do lock them. We do run cables through them, but it just prevents people from, you know, wanting to get into mischief or take a moonlight trip. Again, we'll be keeping that river clean. We'll run regular cleanups and look for other events. They mentioned you have a great 4th of July event. We'd love to be a part of that. Make sure that we're not intruding with anything going on, but supporting it and augmenting it. We know in Loveland that that's our biggest day of the season. People just like to get on the water on the 4th of July. It's just one of those, summertime activities. So we're extremely busy that day, but we still participate in the parade that goes on in Loveland. And, my staff works a really, really long day, but they do a great job. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. We just wanted to open it up to you. If you have any questions for us, we'd be happy to answer them.
Council, do you have any questions?
No, but I think it's a great opportunity for South Lebanon.
Thank you.
We see it that way.
Mhm.
I mean,
Absolutely.
We lived in Kings Mills for quite a while, and when we sold our house, we were remodeling the upstairs of the business. We lived in South Lebanon, the apartments behind Target, so we spent a lot of time on the bike trail, and you have a beautiful community, and it's well kept. I know there's a lot of stuff going up on 48, but I think the downtown is the kind of the overlooked gem that people don't realize is here, and we're looking forward to being a part of that. I think it's a really, again, really nice setup for us.
Okay, thank you for coming, and
You're welcome.
I feel the same way you do.
You want us to stay? Or you want
Yeah,
us to
yes,
stay?
please stay.
Okay.
I do have a question. Did you bring your own kayak? Will you be able to bring it?
You can bring your own kayaks. We do not do shuttles and personal kayaks any longer. Most of the outfitters are stuff doing that just due to changing the insurance. A lot of things changing for us in 2020. So, yeah, we'd be happy to help you kind of guide you with that. Because our insurance company looks at about 70. Our trailers are built for the model. So, all of my friends that do that and so they bought the kayak and they
Just open it and close it.
yeah.
Rick. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, now I'm going to open the floor to the public to see if anyone wants to speak. Hearing no one, I will close the floor. Okay. Tina. Our Director of Finance is going to give a presentation of the 2025 operating and capital budget. So take it away.
Thank you, Mayor Burke. I apologize ahead of time. My presentation probably is not going to be as exciting as the one that you just listened to. But I'm going to give it my best shot. So, Jerry, do you need me to flip it over to, oops, sorry.
Be able to just hit HTML4. Share content.
Sorry. Okay. There we go. So tonight, as Mayor Burke mentioned, we are here to go over the 2025 budget for our operating and capital expenses. I want to start off by taking a look back at what happened in 2024, where our actuals are, where we kind of ended up. We did start last year of 24 with the fund balance of 16.2 million. We took in revenue about 11.7 and spent about 9.5 and ended with a $18,448,000 ending balance, which is our highest balance we've ever historically had in the past. So we have continued to see growth in our fund balance. And it simply comes from the fact that you're looking at that revenues up there are exceeding what our expenses are. So to start 25, there's that beginning balance of 18.4 million. Our revenues are estimated around 11.7 or 11.8, which is very similar to what our actuals were on the previous slide that we received in 24. Our appropriations, though, you can see that those are at almost 14.8 million. Last year, we spent just under 10 million. And most of that has to do with capital projects that we have planned for 2025 and some significant grants resources that we will be receiving for those projects. And that is going to bring our ending balance down to the 15.5. So, we are exceeding our revenues there by almost $3 million, but we have accumulated the balance over a couple of years now where we have not completed some of these capital projects, and we've just carried over the fund balance from year to year. So to look into those numbers a little deeper, when we looked at that revenue of what makes up that 11.8, here's a slide of just what fund is bringing in that revenue. Our general fund of the 4.3 million is our main funding source for our safety services, for a lot of our capital projects, for a lot of your governmental services of admin and finance office, tax office, and those kind of expenses. And then you'll see there's quite a bit of expenses there in our water fund and our sewer fund. Those are for charges for services for your utilities. A lot of that, also what we bring in there is going to be spent out for purchasing those resources and for maintaining those infrastructure and for those departments. And then the TIF funds is always a wash, so it kind of inflates the budget. And what the TIF fund is the two TIF districts, which we have Riverside and Rivers Crossing. Instead of those areas paying real estate taxes, we receive taxes in lieu of real estate taxes, and that money is then used to fund infrastructure projects that have been completed. So there's debt service on those funds. So everything we receive, we spend out. And with a portion going to the school district, one of them is a 35% portion and a 20% of whatever we collect. So the schools are getting that money through the city versus through real estate property taxes. And then if you look at our operating expenses there of 8.6. So this is the number that I really compare the revenue number to, is our operating expenses should never exceed our operating revenues. If you do, then you're not in a balanced budget. Now you're going to look at the capital expenses there of 6 million, and when you add those two together, you're exceeding your revenues by almost that 3 million. That's okay as long as you have a significant fund balance and you can spend down the fund balance in the short term. When you start adding to the operating expenses and getting close to the revenue, then you will foresee a problem with exceeding and spending down your fund balance to nothing. So we keep a close eye on those amounts. So looking at just revenue versus expenses, this is how our fund balances have grown. You go back to 21, the revenues are in blue, the expenses are in red, and you can see that the blue is greater than the red all the way through 24, and then it exceeds it for budget purposes in 25. But that's those little excessive amounts that we've accumulated over those 4 or 5 years back have allowed us now to be able to do some significant projects, which we'll go into a little bit later. Speaking of the historical budget comparisons, back in 21, our budget was around 10.7, and we've slowly increased it up to getting to now that 14.7. There was a little dip there in 22, but the overall budget increase from 24 to 25 is only a 3% growth. The significant budget increase there in 24 had a lot to do with TAP fees that we were receiving and having to expense those funds back to the county. And a lot of the different OPWC capital project funds that we received last year when we did Forest Avenue and Mesa Mara Millgrove. Those grants, we were responsible, even though they pay for them from the grants, we still have to record the expense on our books. So therefore, the number is quite significantly more than what we did in 23 when we did not do those projects. So where does the money come from? Where does what's the source of that 11.8 million that we take in? The charges for services there of almost 4 million. When we say charges for services, that's your water, your sewer, your trash bills that we collect in your utilities. And then the next biggest source of revenue, which is our income tax, we're budgeting to take in about 2.5, which is consistent with what we took in last year. And then you can just kind of look going rest of the way down the list there. But those are the main two sources of revenue that fund most of our activity throughout the city, or most of our expenses. this might be a little small, but this is the general fund. This is that 1% earnings tax and how it's grown over the past 5 years. Back in 2020, we took in about 1.8 million, and we've continued to grow on an average of 9% from 2020 to 2024. We did have a dip last year. We ended the year down 5%, which equates to about, a little over $100,000 difference. But if you average back to where we've been, I feel comfortable that we're going to continue to at least stay steady, if not grow further, as we add on the new residents that we have coming in. We've added a couple different subdivisions this past year, and a lot of tax revenue will probably be reported for 2024 for individuals that have moved into High Meadows, I think Irwin Farms, and then even when this year we'll have River Creek Lofts coming online at the end of the year. So we've had a lot of growth in population, and when you have the growth in population, you have the growth in earnings tax. And how are we spending that money? So these are the categories, the budget categories of where the money goes. Looking at, we've got the police safety services as about $900,000 of the budget, 6% of it, which really is not a lot when you look at that pie graph, but salaries is 14%. And then you can kind of ignore the TIF service payments. Like I said, those come in and those go out. So, but they're part of the pie. And the large part of this pie this year, there is $6 million in those capital outlay projects. So that's a significant amount. And there's a lot that's planned this year to be done. And then operating expenses, that 3.4, we kind of already talked about it a little bit, but that's going to include your expenses for buying water from Cincinnati Water Works. That's almost $500,000. Rumpke trash service, it costs the city almost $600,000 a year to pay the Rumpke bills. Our sewer treatment contract with the city of Lebanon is around $300,000. And then we have expenses obviously for maintenance of equipment and vehicles, maintenances for salt, buying, professional services for our engineering services and things like that. So that 3.4 of operating expenses goes really quick. So to talk about personal services a little bit more, that's that 14% of the total budget number that on the previous page. It's an 8% increase compared to 2024, what we're budgeting for personal services. That does include a 2.5% wage increase. It includes an estimated increase for benefits. It includes 17 full-time positions and 2 part-time. And of that, new positions that makes up that 17 is a code enforcement officer and a maintenance worker. We are backfilling a position that was not filled back in 2024. And then we are currently filling a vacant position that was vacated just about a month ago. But going back all the way to 2021, we had 11 full-time employees and 0 part-time. So we've almost doubled our staff, which that's going to allow us to get things done, get projects done. And we're very thankful for council when they approve those additional positions, because it really does help all of us to get our job done. So let's talk about those capital projects. That's the $6 million. So here's a list of some of the items that are included in that. The first 4, we are receiving significant grants to help fund them, about $1.4 million in grant funding. And that's going to be for that community center improvements of a little bit over $1 million. The Mara Road reconstruction of almost $1 million. King Avenue paving, Hobart Street paving. And then our $500,000 for just street surfacing and restriping throughout the city for streets that they've identified as being in the condition to be repaired. And that's an annual cost that we have budgeted out here for the next 5 years to invest that into getting the streets in the condition that we would like them to be, that residents would like them to be. So even that first 5 there, you can see, I mean, we're looking at almost $3 million just in street projects. And then from there, we have a couple other little things, the turn signal radar units at State Route 48 and Mesa Morrow Mill Grove. I believe that was in the budget in '24, but we did not have an opportunity to complete that project, so that carried forward to '25. Same thing with the Oders Park playground improvements. We're trying to figure out the best use of a grant that was given to us graciously by the Oders family for that park. And we're matching it and adding to it $75,000 of the city's funds. So hopefully this year we'll be able to get that accomplished. The Veterans Park restrooms, that will be out here, right out here by the new playground that was put in maybe 2 years ago. You mentioned porta potties. Yes, there's a porta potty there and nobody likes to go to the porta potty. And so most of the time in the summertime, they're bringing the kids, they're bringing anybody through into the city building. And of course, we're not here on the weekends when the park is used by a lot of people that like to use the shelter. So council committees feel that the Veterans Park restroom would probably be a great benefit to the residents out here. And then we're starting the design work for a public works facility in Salt Barn. So those currently that are located down there on Railroad Street, right by the bike path. And we're looking at a better place to put that. So that'll open that area up for future growth for other things. And then I believe on the council agenda tonight is approving a contract for this water pressure reducing valve, which is something that is needed prior to us potentially taking down the water tower, Jerry. I believe that's what it is.
It requires to be able to paint the water tower, has to go offline. So that will be the
Yeah.
goal. Yep.
And that's put out into the 26 budget, but this is the first step. And then the big one is the River Corridor Sewer Lift Station. Now, that one we've been working through for a couple years now, trying to get some grant funding. We did receive an Ohio EPA loan amount that's at a very low market interest rate of under 3%, that we'll probably be borrowing over $7 million to fund that project. But I think that is something we're at that point now where we have to do it. We've added all these communities. There's more demand put on the current lift stations. So this is a high priority project. And all I've got here is just the historical fund balance of the general fund, just kind of showing you going back to just 2020 when we were under 3 million. And now we're almost, in 24, we ended at 5.6 million. I mean, it's grown exponentially, and that's allowing us, like I said, it's allowing us to do these road projects and things like that. So do you guys have any questions on this? Thank you. So there is we had the first reading of the budget appropriations ordinance at the last meeting, and tonight is on the agenda for its second reading for passing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Matt, that will be an old business towards the end of the meeting. So we will move on to are there any questions for Tina? Did anybody have anything? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on. We move on to Emergency Resolution 2025-7, authorizing the mayor and director of finance to execute a lease agreement with Loveland Canoe and Kayak Incorporated. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I need I can't get it out. A motion to waive the 2 reading rule and a second.
Lisa Fetter, I make a motion to waive the 2 reading rule.
Brenda Combs, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Thank you. Motion carries. A motion and a second to adopt by title only.
Brenda Combs, motion made to adopt by title only.
Lisa Fetter, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Thank you. Motion carries. Welcome to the family. Congratulations. Yes.
Thank you for choosing us.
Yes.
And Linda and Gary, they made it easy. Very accommodating, so we appreciate that greatly, and thank you for your support, and I make you proud.
I know you will. Thank you so much.
It's been on my wish list since forever. And I also used to go clean the river with Isaac Waltons. Are they still? Okay. So it's been a while, but that I've been on the river, so maybe you guys will get me out.
Yes, you will.
That's right. Thank you.
so much. Moving on, emergency resolution 2025-8, approval of issuing a notice of award to Benchmark Land Management LLC, authorizing the mayor and director of finance to execute a contract for the improvement project. And that is the valve.
That's correct, yes.
Yes. So I will need a motion to waive the 2 reading rule.
Linda Allen, I'll make a motion to waive the 2 reading rule.
Combs, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Feder,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Thank you. Motion carries. Now a motion and a second to adopt by title only.
Brenda Combs, motion to accept as title only.
Sharon Carmack, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Feder,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Thank you. Motion carries. Emergency Resolution 2025-9, initiating an amend, I can't say that, to section 15.9.9 1G B1, section 15.910 1M B2 of the city zoning. This has to do with the retail sale of cannabis within the city. Is there any discussion?
Yes, I do. So a while back, we did discuss this and we decided to waive that for a year. Is this to extend what we did the first time, or is this to lead into?
No, the moratorium that you guys originally voted on and put into place is expiring. And if it expires, then that would allow retail cannabis businesses to apply and come into the city. This would prohibit the sale of retail cannabis within city limits.
Any other questions?
I've got one. This does not prevent people from, using it within the city limits, does it?
Oops, I got it, Chairman. No, it doesn't. It's legal under state law right now. This would just prohibit the sale of retail cannabis. So no store could open up here and sell it. Like, for example, there's a store up in Lebanon. They have authorized the sale of retail cannabis so people can go there and purchase it. That just would be prohibited here within South Lebanon under this particular resolution, presuming it goes through Planning Commission, and then it would come back to City Council for review.
Yeah, so it's actually just initiating the process. So this wouldn't change anything at this point. Planning would make a recommendation. It'd come back to council. Council would hold a public hearing before any action was taken.
Correct.
I just wanted that clarified for anybody watching this evening.
Got it.
Thank you.
Linda Allen, I'll
Any
make a-
other questions?
Oh, I'm
Hearing none, I will need a first and a motion and a second to approve or to waive the 2 reading rule.
Linda Allen, I'll make a motion to waive the 2 reading rule.
Combs, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Thank you. Now a motion and a second to approve by title only.
Combs, approved by title only.
Linda Allen, I second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Thank you. Motion carries. A motion is needed to authorize the Director of Finance to send and amend certificate to the Warren County Auditor for fiscal year 2025.
Lisa Fetter, I make the motion.
Sharon Carmack, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Thank you. Motion carries. A motion and a second to approve the invoices. Oh,
Combs, motion to approve the invoices.
Linda Allen, second.
I did that.
It looks like you guys are missing the invoice approval on the agenda and
I
then.
did that.
It's on the
Right,
mayor-
but then what about the January financial statements? Is that on there too?
The invoices is on the mayor's, but not everybody else's, I don't think.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the January financial statements.
We need to,
Oh, okay, back up.
yeah.
A motion to approve the invoices. I thought I was going okay.
Combs, motion made.
Linda Allen, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Thank you. Motion carries. A motion to approve the January financial statement and a second.
Linda Allen, I make a motion to approve the financial reports.
Sharon Carmack, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
I have two January on my agenda. Is that correct?
No, just one.
No,
Okay.
that was a mistake.
Okay. Moving on to a motion to approve rescheduling the council meetings for June 19th and July 3rd, with the recommendation of Tuesday, June the 17th and Tuesday, July 1st.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Combs, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Thank you. Motion carries. We have a review request of Tim and Debbie Wilkerson to access sanitary sewer outside of.
Yeah, we had one agenda item added.
Oh,
on
well,
the new-
I don't have that.
Yeah, here you go.
Well, wait a minute.
I think
you
do, but it's under there.
It's in there. So we have a request
Okay,
to
we go.
authorize purchase of water meters and radio meters, or radios for the water meters. The reason it comes to council is because it's over the $25,000 threshold. We've been converting all of our water meters to the new census meters and the radio reads, so that when the guys do the meter reads, they just have to drive by. Has saved countless hours. This last purchase will complete that process, and it'll be the last one that, other than normal maintenance after this.
Okay, so I need a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? I have something I want to say. When you update these agendas, could you please get them to me prior to the council meeting?
Yeah, they were put on the table, but yeah.
But I was in another meeting, so I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Okay, are there any questions or is there any discussion about the approval of purchase of water meters and radio meters? Hearing none, I will need a motion and a second to approve by title only.
Linda Allen, I'll make a motion to approve.
Combs, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Thank you. Motion carries. Now, review request of Tim and Debbie Wilkerson to access sanitary sewer outside of city limits. Jerry, do you want to address this?
Yeah, let me get the map up here, just kind of a little rough. So recently we received a request from the farm at corner of 22 and 3 and Zor Road. This is owned by the Wilkerson family. Actually, it's a trust, but they're the trustees. Initially, they were looking to possibly annex into the city. Unfortunately, there's no, after review, there's no contiguous lands that would.
Continuity?
It doesn't touch the city. So at some point, they might, so here's the St. Philip's Catholic Church here. Now, city boundaries all the way to here. Here's the county's radio tower. So we're here. And then back here is High Meadow subdivision. But at this point, there's no area to touch. So they've requested, because the high cost, I guess, improvements that would be needed to have hook into the county system, if they could access our sewer. So I've looked into it. They've got projections. So we have our capacity at the treatment plant is 850,000 gallons a day. We're currently using about 550. With our projections, with River Creek Lofts and additional development already approved, probably leaving about 186,000 gallons a day left for our future growth forever until we would either the city of Lebanon would expand the plant and we would have to buy more capacity. That there's no plans for that at all. So after reviewing it, I think I would recommend denying the request, simply that there's not enough benefit for the city to allow it to give away our sewer capacity at this point. So I guess there's two options. You can either not take any action or take an action to deny. I don't know what you think, Andrew.
Yeah, it's either a no action item or a motion to deny the request.
Say something.
You can ask the question, yes.
The one thing I can say is that the only lever that South Lebanon really has for people joining into our services is annexation. I mean, we've been trying to get Highland Park on board forever, and if they didn't have to annex, they would, everyone hook into our services. So I think, I just don't think at this time, you said they may consider it at a later date. Me personally, I'd like to see the later date.
Yeah. The problem like that, if it's after the fact, is that the waters would already be with the county providing it. So water is a significant source of revenue. So that's,
Which one care about?
so I would just hold off. At some point down the road, it may not be around when we're here, but they should get probably annexed. It's within a few years ago, we had the county water agreement that we signed, and that property is included in that, so we can access county water on that property at some point if they decide to, they're able to annex. So,
My recommendation would be not to take any action on the item.
yeah, here's what they provided, a draft layout of what they're planning. So this is connected housing. I think it's a lot of it's senior housing, as well as this is all retail at the corner lot. So.
Any other questions or concerns? Hearing none. No action taken, and I'm gonna ask for a motion to table this. And a second.
Motion made.
Oops, sorry. Lisa Fetter, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison, Spicer.
Yay.
Thank you. Motion carries. I need a motion for the approval of minute meetings February 6, 2025 and February 20th, 2025, if there are no corrections or additions. If there are no corrections or additions, I need a motion and a second.
Linda, I make a motion to accept.
Lisa, I second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Recuse.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Thank you. Motion carries. Moving on to old business. Ordinance 2025-5. This is the second reading adopting permanent appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures for the period January 1, 2025 through December 31st, 2025. I need a motion and a second to approve by title only.
Brenda Combs, motion made.
Lisa Fetter, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Thank you. Motion carries. Moving on to communications and reports from our city officials and committees. It's been a busy week, as you can tell from everything that's going on, and I just want to thank the staff for everything that they do to keep us moving, and I want to thank River Dogs for coming into our community. It's going to make a big difference. Thank you so much. We're excited. I also want to thank our Public Works Department and Harry for everything that they do and keeping our city and cleaning up now after the hard winter. I hope it's over. I hope we don't see any more events. And I encourage anyone that may be here tonight or listening, if you have an issue that is city related, please contact myself, the city administrator. And I'm just going to put this out there before posting it on Facebook. We can help you. And we have a great public works director and department and crew that will help with any issues that we can. And I just encourage you to reach out to us first. Tina, thank you for the budget and everything that you've put together and keeping us in line. I do have the city cleanup to announce, which is April the 26th. And that is 9 to noon, right, Jerry? Or is it 8 to noon?
It actually starts at 8.
Okay.
The Rumpke trucks will be there at Rogers Park.
And we have a Boy Scout troop from Clarksville that is coming in to help us with this. So I encourage all of council to come out and participate if you can. And I think that's all I have to report tonight, and I'll move on to Tina, our Director of Finance.
So you get to hear from me again. So just something to let you guys know that's coming up is our annual renewal of health benefits on May 1. So we have some meetings scheduled next week to meet with our current broker regarding shopping plans and shopping options for the renewal rates. And we also are meeting with the Center for Local Government. That is something I mentioned last year after we went through the review, and we were looking at options on how we could possibly get better pricing, maybe join in a pool with a consortium for healthcare. So we have that meeting set up next week, and we're going to, use that as part of our comparison when we get our rates back from our current broker and plans, along with meeting with the Center for Local Government. And I'll go into that more once we get that information. But once we do get that information, we'll probably need to set up a finance meeting and a personnel meeting, because we'll make those decisions about which plan or what to recommend to council. And those will have to probably be approved by an emergency sometime in April so that they can be effective on May 1. And another thing I just want to report is that our fund annual auditors will be out here starting at the end of March. So, just when I think things are calming down, there's an end in sight here sometime. But so just so that you guys know, I mean, last year we got the award for the clean audit and everything went great. So hopefully this is a smooth year also. And it is what it is. But yeah.
You'll be great.
Thank you.
Okay, next is our city administrator, Mr. Haddix.
Just started jotting things down because after it's a long week. So looking at the calendar. So, well, first thing I want to thank Tina for the work on the budget. I mean, that's, I think I said it last meeting, but it's amount of work and knowledge that goes into that makes my head spin. So Jennifer's learning the clerk's job. She's getting her feet wet, and it's challenging to come in and do this kind of job. I mean, it's there's a lot of different things that go on, and she's picking it up. Monday we have a tax incentive review council meeting with the county. This is when the county reviews all of the TIF programs and CRA programs. So that's coming up. So the bids for the Morrow Road reconstruction project open on March 18th. We've got that set up to start after Memorial Day, so the parade won't be interrupted. I also talked to Dave at the little store to let him know, give him a heads up. So maybe that could be one of the businesses that you guys could maybe get out. I'll give you his contact information. So they have some mean fried chicken too. So. River Creek Lofts, if you drive by there, you can see they're moving. They've a lot of the utility work and road works moving forward, and the buildings are going up. I could actually see them from 71, so it's going to be pretty impressive when this thing's all built out. We have a meeting next week with representatives from IRG. They're a developer that owns multiple properties around the city, next to Kohl's, by Lowe's, up in Riverside, and get an update on where they stand on those properties. They've been out. They sold a lot of the property a couple years ago, and haven't seen much of them lately. So we're going to get an update on that. Our Public Works Civil Service Test is coming up. The deadline to apply is the 13th. The test will be at 9 a.m. on the 15th, and that'll be in this office. So if you know anybody wanting to take the Public Works Civil Service test, they got one more week. Planning Commission meeting next Tuesday at 6 o'clock. So the cannabis issue will be on that, on the agenda for the Planning Commission, as well as there's another replat on the agenda. Just a reminder, the 27th of March is the public hearing for the pool fence rezoning amendment. So it's a special meeting, so make sure you mark your calendar. The Board of Revisions complaint has been submitted. This is for the property at across from Speedway. So once we get that date, we don't have the hearing date yet. I just want to let everybody know that one of our longtime Public Works employees is he's been hospitalized, so we're trying to keep an update on him, Chris Bouchelder. So you can think about him. The county litter crew has been working on cleaning up the property next to Rogers Park. So I think they've been out there, and our crews have been using the bush hog to get some of the grass down on that property as well. So part of it's parks and part of it's the county water department. Just a reminder, daylight savings changes this week on Sunday or Saturday night, Sunday morning.
I don't like it.
And then last thing, we had a pre-construction meeting for the King Avenue paving project. Originally, the project was supposed to go from Mary Ellen to Hobart. The bids came in quite lower than expected. And so now we're going to have it go from Mary Ellen all the way to McKinley. The contractor is Naira Paving. So, and actually, it's hopefully we'll have little to no city match on that project. So, which is always nice. So that's all I got.
That's quite a bit. Thank you, Jerry. Our Public Works Director, Harry.
Thank you. I really don't have anything. You have a copy of my department reports, which include sewer, water, and streets. Any questions for me?
I just want to thank you for the reports, because when we get these reports, council knows and the public knows what's going on out there. And I think all the information that we can get out there helps.
Oh, good. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I did want to say thanks to the crews for all their work. You know, when we get, everybody's on call basically 24 hours a day. So when there's a snow emergency, we get a call from the county. They get up, they go out. There's some challenges with time cards sometimes, but we do communicate back and forth to try to make sure when they are submitted, they're done properly. And, but I really do appreciate what they're doing out there, because I think I received one complaint since I've been here. And it was, we covered a catch basin with snow because it was a cul-de-sac. So other than that, we've hit a couple mailboxes, we've repaired them. So they've done a great job with the equipment we have, working the hours that they do. It's usually not at 4:30, it's usually at 2:30 a.m. So they're basically going home, they might be getting dinner, they go to sleep, and then boom, now they get a call. They're coming out, they're getting in the trucks, they're loading up salt, they're moving equipment. So they're doing a wonderful job, and I'm glad to be a part of that team.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I used to love snow, but I don't anymore. Changes your perspective. Andrew.
Nothing for me this evening.
Sergeant Adams.
Second. All right, just a couple things. Last time I talked about the body worn cameras, they're on us now. They are being phased in throughout all the deputies. It'll take the rest of, starting this month through April. So by the end of April, we should see every road deputy with this device. So it's an awesome tool. It's already worked out real well so far, and I've only had it a couple days, so I like it. The other thing, Jerry stole my fire on the along Rogers Park there. So he beat me to it. So next time you gotta call me ahead of him.
Okay, okay.
Other than that, we did have I won't go into great details. It was all over Facebook. There was an incident out on Pike Street where the TAC team was called out. It was due to what was reported. Ultimately, what was reported wasn't completely accurate as far as what led to the TAC team being called out. But there was some arrests made and things like that. Nobody was severely injured. From everything that I received afterwards, there was nobody on the street or in that vicinity that was in any danger. So it was taken care of. It was buttoned up by the midnight crew, and I think everything was done by 4 or 5 in the morning.
That's still a pretty long day.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes, when you call for a TAC team, it does take a little bit of time to get them all assembled and out.
I mean, for all of you, and people need to understand when something like that happens, it's just not cleaned up in a couple of hours.
One, hopefully everybody agrees, it's always better to if you think you need these resources, get them out there. If you don't need them, you can always dismiss them and send them on their ways. But the biggest thing there is if something looks like it's going to be a big deal, go ahead and prepare for it and then dial down after that. So that's exactly what the deputies and supervisors did. And from everything I've read, they've done a great job on that. So.
Thank you. Thank you, Sergeant Adams and all the crew. Give them our thanks. Okay, Councilmember Spicer,
Nothing to report this evening.
Councilmember Fetter.
Okay, so the events committee's been busy still. We added, November 29th will be Light Up Main and the lighting of the Christmas tree by the gazebo and all that. So we did work on the 4th of July today. Thank you, Brenda, for coming to our meeting. And we will work that out and get it going in the right direction. Also, our new neighbor. So we need to get with you guys too on the 4th of July. So everybody's on the same page. Our celebration will start at like 6 p.m. is what we have planned. So, but we'll get together and work on that. And that's all I have to report right now.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Carmack.
I have nothing to report.
Thank you. Councilmember Harrison.
Welcome aboard. I'm excited. And of course, thank you, all of you, for doing a great job. Every one of you excel in my eyes. Thank you. Nothing else to add.
Councilmember Allen.
Yeah, I had a question. The property, again, I know I've mentioned it a couple times that we purchased on Hobart. Is that going to be available for parking even for our neighbors? I mean, you guys are going to do business that's going to be extraordinary. So I've always wanted it for parking, but give me an update.
So, I mean, we already own there's a parking lot adjacent to it. So, at this point, we haven't had any plans to extend it. With the paving project, we're supposed to get the grinding. So a lot of times we use that as a base for parking. We'll take a look at that and see.
I think, okay, let's play tag. I think that'd be a good idea because I think with the grinding, like you said, you could just put it over and use it as a temporary till we got more permanent spaces. But I think even the 4th of July, they didn't have any place to park. So thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Councilmember Carmack, or not Carmack, Combs. It was a C. I was close. I just want to say this to you, Brenda. and I want everybody to keep Brenda in your prayers. And I'm not going to go into detail, but I just want to say that. And if Hubert, you need anything, please let us know. Go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate every one of you. And thank you for the cards and food. There's been a lot of flurry going around the house. People showing their love, and I appreciate every one of them. And I would like to thank our city staff. They work so hard, everybody. And Warren County Sheriff's Department and Union Township for keeping us all safe. And they kind of been on standby with me. So, thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. Is there anything else for the good of the order? Hearing none, I need a motion to adjourn. And a second.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Hearing none,